The Resiliency Initiative was founded out of my passion to want to help. I've been in emergency management since 1999, and I've worked all different facets from the nonprofit world to private sector to the federal government. For the most part, I see that the companies or the organizations that have somebody on their staff that focuses on community planning or emergency planning, business continuity, they are more successful in getting back to business after a disaster strikes. And it doesn't have to be a big disaster. It could be a small fire that impacts their operations. But if they don't have a plan on how they could go to business the next day after that small fire, they can be out of business.
For every dollar that you invest in your crisis management, that's $7 to $11 that you will get back because you've had the right systems in place. We sit down with our clients and we ask a lot of questions. Our goal is to really make sure that our crisis management planning fits your organization.
I think we figured out as a nation that we're going to have disasters more frequently with climate change, and we have to be able to bounce back. So when you talk about resilience, it can be bringing back public safety, bringing back goods and services to a city, economic development, bringing your businesses back, making sure they're flourishing, reestablishing an electrical energy grid, or basic lines of transportation. So resiliency, I think, is that whole package.
We start that business process analysis. Through that, we identify, those critical functions along the way. That if those functions were to fail, this whole thing is going to stop. Once we establish those critical functions, what we start to assess in that space is, okay, what is the risk associated with this particular function? It could be something technical like, access to computers or access to human resources or access to a key third party, things like that. Identifying that from end to end on that business process is going to help you identify what you need to protect.
The main point of having something that's tailored to your company is that it's going to be the most accurate based on the plans that you have in place. We're tailoring these programs so that they're going to be most relevant to the companies or the organizations we're working with.
We look for a client that actually does not have experience in emergency management, but they may have multiple offices in different areas that may experience some type of emergency or disaster.
We have experience that is unique because it's across private sector, large corporations, it's working with nonprofits, it's working with public sectors. The academies are where we want that sustained resiliency. So when we're thinking about an organization, you're building that into the organization. You're building a culture of resilience.
But when we talk about, this whole community and being diverse and being inclusive, if you don't have half of the population represented at your table, you're just not going to have a plan that is inclusive of all thoughts. We're here to help. Take a look at your, existing plans, and if you don't have any, that's okay. Just give us a call or send us an email, and we'll sit down with you and talk you through what we would recommend for your operations. It's important for small businesses to invest in emergency planning, and it doesn't take a lot of time and money. There's tons of free resources out there. It's the one sure way to help you stay in business. One of the biggest lessons learned from COVID-19 is those small businesses that had a way to pivot and had additional plans, they're still in business today. Those who didn't are not in business.